Oh my goodness. We're going to Indiana. Title says, Indiana couple, cousin, arrested after 6-month-old suffers near fatal amount of rat bites. True Crime Daily, published September 21st, 2023. This is in Evansville, Indiana. And it says, 2 women and a man were taken into custody this week after a 6-month-old boy was found with most of his flesh bitten off of one of his hands due to rat bites as well as other injuries. According to the affidavit cited by WEHT-TV, on September 13th, David Schoenbaum called Evansville police and reported his infant son had blood all over his body and that his fingers looked like they were missing. EMS responded to the 1600 block of Linwood Avenue and transported the child to an Indianapolis hospital for treatment. The boy reportedly sustained at least 50 rodent bites on his forehead, cheek, and nose, though the worst wounds were on the toddler's hand. WEHT reports the victim had to undergo a blood transfusion due to the near-fatal event. WEVV-TV, which also cites the affidavit, said Schoenbaum lived in the Linwood Avenue home with his wife, Angel Schoenbaum, and her sister, Delana Thurman. Angel and David Schoenbaum have 3 children, and Thurman has 2. All had moved into the home of David Schoenbaum's cousin. David Schoenbaum and his cousin reportedly breached an agreement where the Schoenbaums could live in the home rent-free, but in return, they would have to take care of the house. David Schoenbaum reportedly told Evansville police he realized in March that the home had a major rat infestation. He put out traps and other bait boxes, but it allegedly wasn't enough. In one message to Terminix, David reportedly said the house was completely overwhelmed with rats. A Terminix employee reportedly saw garbage bags in the yard, which they explained would exacerbate the critter problem. When police searched the home after the boy went to the hospital, they reportedly noticed rat footprints in the child's blood. According to WEHT, Thurman reportedly told police that her daughter and David and Angel Schoenbaum's daughter informed the teacher their toes got bitten by mice while they slept. DCS contacted Thurman, and she said there was a normal amount of mice in the house. A behavioral health service worked with the Schoenbaums starting in April, and case managers noticed the home had trash all over the place, animal feces on the ground, and dirty dishes in the sink. Over time, however, the situation began slowly improving. The case manager went to the home 4 days before the child went to the hospital. Court records show Angel Schoenbaum is charged with 6 counts of neglect of a dependent, David Schoenbaum with 3 counts of neglect of a dependent, and Thurman with 2 counts of neglect of a dependent. Holy shit. We've read plenty of cases. We've read some really weird stuff. This is on the list of top 3 weirdest ones that we've read. The child didn't die. At least the child will survived and will be able to live. Obviously will not be able to recuperate because it's not going to be able to grow its fingers out again. Just out of curiosity mostly. Just all right. Let's see. So just so we can be on the same page of let's see. This is from fantasticpestcontrol.co.uk. Talking about rat bites. So, what diseases do rats carry that can affect humans? So, first one, hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. This viral disease is the most common serious infection a human can face after contact with rats. it's spread. And you might ask yourself why I'm mentioning why am I reading this? The rats bit all of the child's fingers off of one hand. Bit the child on, and took flesh off of his nose and other parts of his body as well. So, I mean, not only is it the fact that the rat bit off all those things, but on top of that, the child will now have to probably face these diseases, because it comes with being bit by a rat. It's fucking crazy. Okay. It's the hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. It's spread through rat bites and scratches, but the most common ways are through rat feces and urine, including pathogens that got transmitted through dust. Rat bite fever. Another disease transmitted through a bite, scratch, or contact with a dead rat. It causes high fevers, shivering, headache, and joint pain. Salmonellosis. This disease can get into your system by consuming food or water contaminated with rat feces or urine. But this is the diseases that rats carry in general. Leptospirosis is a bacterial disease that can be transmitted by coming in contact with contaminated water. And the plague. If you don't know about the plague, definitely Google it. That is a complete topic in and of itself. If we were to go down that route, we'd have to dedicate the whole episode from this point on into explaining the plague. But all I can say is that's what happens when you mess with cats. That's all I'm going to say. But it talks about the plague. It says, thankfully, modern medicine has a cure for this disease, but it still exists and it's still deadly. While rats aren't the direct carrier of the pathogen, they might carry fleas and properties, which are the main culprits. So, these are symptoms of a rat bite. General symptoms are pain, redness, and swelling around the bite. A weeping, pus-filled wound. It's a sign of a secondary infection. It says rat bites are very dangerous. But this is a pest control company, so they're trying to sell me stuff. Orkin is also a pest control company as well. So they might try to sell me something as well. Okay, so wow, there's something actually called rat bite fever. Let's see if this doesn't have copyright music on it. Of course it does. Why? Why does it have? Why would you add the music to it? All right, fuck it. I don't think there's any voices to it, so I'll read it to you. So it says a rat bite fever. Rat bite fever is an illness caused from bacteria transmitted by rodents. The condition goes by many names, but it is typically transmitted by a rat. The disease can be passed from the urine or feces of an infected rodent, but it is typically caused due to the animal's bite. The bacteria responsible for rat bite fever is found in the mouth, nose, and respiratory tract of many rats, and sometimes infection from the bite can be fatal. It is a rare disease typically spread by infected rodents. However, pets such as dogs or cats that are exposed to these animals can also carry the disease and infect humans. There are two types of gram-negative bacteria that can cause the infection. It's Streptobacillosis moniliformis, and the second one is Spirillum minus. Symptoms occur 3 to 10 days after exposure. However, they can be delayed up to several weeks. Symptoms include chills, fever, headache, muscle aches, vomiting, painful swelling of the joints, fatigue, rash. The children had their toes bit while they slept. So, for all we know, they could have already started experiencing these symptoms by the time what happened to the child happened. So that's why I'm mentioning all of these things. So it's not only because of what happened to the child, but it's the fact that the other siblings had their toes bit while they slept. So who knows if they would eventually start seeing these symptoms pop up. It does say it takes about 3 to 10 days after exposure, but it can be delayed up to several weeks. So who knows, 2-3 weeks after that bite, they start feeling all of these symptoms, and yeah, it's pretty downhill from there. The foot here that you see here, why they use this, it's just a huge picture of a foot. It's beyond me, but I guess this shows like a fever rash because of a bite. So it says, symptoms are nonspecific and can be confused with other diseases. It is a difficult diagnosis, and the diagnosis could be delayed. It says, here's a patient MRI of the right side shoulder. The patient had documented infection of the right shoulder proven to be caused by rat bite fever. The patient had incision and drainage of the right shoulder. So this is what we see right here. Holy cannoli. Treatment, usually penicillin or its derivative. A good prevention program. It's avoid exposure to infected animals, but obviously that is not what happened in this case. And the mortality rate is about 13% if not treated. Damn. I want to see that again. I'm sorry. Wow. It sure spread. All right, so the CDC states that those at higher risk of contracting the illness are people with pet rats or those who work with rats in laboratories, pet stores, or people who live in rat-infested buildings. People who handle rodents or clean up after them should wash their hands regularly, as well as wear protective gloves and avoid placing their hands to the mouth after being in contact with rodents. Actually, know someone that... wait, hold on. Let me see if there's anything else to read. All rodents are potential carriers of the bacteria. Children under the age of 5, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems should consider not having a rat as a pet. Wow. There you go. This video is for educational purposes. What I was going to say is I actually know someone that went into a storage unit that just so happened to the actual location was rat infested, and when she went into the storage unit that she rents, there was a whole bunch of like rat feces and whatnot. She didn't notice it, but she was cleaning it out. She was gonna put some things in there, and she started sweeping the floor and the dust, which had like feces particles from the rats. I guess she breathed it in, and she told me she was sick for like 2.5 weeks, but like sick, she had to go to like the hospital. She was put into like the emergency room and shit. I forgot, inpatient. So they had to inpatient her into the hospital and everything because she had a very bad infection because of rat feces. So yeah, that's why I mentioned this whole thing, that the video that we saw and whatnot. So again, it's not only the child that is now missing fingers because of rat bites, it's the children as well that their toes were bitten by rats while they slept, that could potentially now have this disease, infection, whatever the hell you want to call it. Crazy. Wow. Yes, we do have a video. Yes, we do. This is wevv.com. That is blocked by a blocker. That happens to me a lot. All right, let's see what this says.
First at 5, 3 people are behind bars after what Evansville police are calling one of the most disturbing child neglect cases they've ever investigated.
I'm gonna put it back. I want you to see that
First
face.
at 5, 3 people are behind bars after what Evansville police are calling one of the most disturbing child neglect cases they've ever investigated. An infant nearly died after being bitten dozens of times by rats. Now, according to Evansville police,
I've never heard anything like this.
In a home filled with trash and animal feces. 44 News reporter Josh Myers has more on this disturbing incident, and we do want to warn you the details are very graphic. Josh?
Yeah, police say that when they arrived at a house on Linwood Avenue, they found a 6-month-old infant with dozens of rat bites and its bassinet covered in blood.
Oh my goodness, dude. What?
Officers were called to the home last week by the father of the infant. According to police, the father says he found the infant covered in blood and rat bites at 7 in the morning. According to EPD, the child that was injured suffered a near-death experience. They say the infant had 50 bites on his face, bites on his foot and toes, and bites on his fingers, arm, and hands that exposed bone.
Oh my
According to police,
goodness.
David Schoenbaum has been living at home with his wife Angel Schoenbaum, along with her sister Delana Thurman. Police say that David and Angel had 3 kids living inside the home, and that Delana had moved in with her 2 children. Police say all 5 of the kids were removed from their care after the incident.
I mean,
I've been on the department almost 20 years now, and that's the first case I've seen of this.
oh
Rats
my
had
God.
basically been feeding on the baby.
Wow, that is insane.
After being taken to the emergency room in Evansville, police say the child had to be flown to Indianapolis for further treatment. They say he was given a blood transfusion at the hospital because of the amount of blood that he lost. All 3 caregivers of the children were arrested on charges of neglecting a dependent and are being held in the Vanderbilt County Jail. David and Angel are being held on $10,000 bond, while Delana's bond is set at $2,500. We're now working to find out the current condition of the infant who was injured. In the meantime, police urge anyone who sees any activity that looks like it could be child neglect to reach out to them so that they can get children out of dangerous situations. Reporting live in Evansville, Josh Myers, 44 News.
I am confused. I am really confused. This is like a horror movie kind of thing. It's just I know that rats like bite people and shit, but not like I've never heard it to the point where they bit through the child to the point of exposing a bone. Was this on purpose? I don't know, man. This is weird. This is a very weird situation. Like, I don't even know what to think, because even with there being like, okay, I understand that the garbage bags could attract the rats, but what kind of rats are these that they're like eating through people? They bit the children's toes while they were sleeping, but they didn't like bite enough to like take the toe off or expose bone. That sounds extremely specific. Like, wow, 50 only on his face. I mean, how many rats were there in a bassinet? Isn't that like something that is like you have to put the baby? I don't have children, so I don't know. I mean, but I guess it's what I've seen. But you have to put the baby in the middle. So, but how did but rats were just like coming out of the woodwork and going into the bassinet? This is very weird. I am not buying this shit at all. That they were just like sleeping and they just woke up in the morning and this child was found in this manner. I'm not buying this shit. I don't know if it's maybe that I've seen way too many true crime cases and I'm not like I'm not taking it at face value. Like, this is just the information that's being given to us, but this is bullshit. Like, there's no possible way. Like, come on. I could understand if a kid would have been like bitten a few times, and you know, but 50 rat bites only in his face. Like, you can make a horror movie out of this. This could well be the scene of an A24 horror movie, and you would be perplexed when you see it. But it's real life. How did all those rats get into one specific place to bite that child in that manner, exposing bones and eating through the child's fingers? 6-month-old child, completely defenseless. Really? And you slept through the whole thing? This is, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let me know, chat, what you think. What do you think? Do you think this does this not sound fishy to you? Does this not sound like there was an ulterior motive to all this? Because I don't know, man. You can be as dirty as possible, and you can have a rat infestation or whatever, but dude, for them to eat through a human being, a defenseless human being at that, I don't know, I'm not buying it. Hell, I'm even tempted to think that maybe the parents put like food inside of the bassinet. I mean, let's be clear. Like, hold on, like, just so we can be on the same page. 'Cause maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I am confused. Okay, so this is what a bassinet looks like. Sorry, it's right above me, so I could move this way. This is what a bassinet looks like. I there's a lot of parents that watch my show, like, and watch my TikToks and shit. So you guys know what a bassinet is. You know, I don't have kids, so I've never had one. But you mean to tell me that rats went into? But just look at the baby right there. Not the baby that we're talking about of the case, but like, look at the baby where it's positioned. This is like the best. It's right in the middle. So you're gonna tell me that rats went into this, like they went up this to go in here to eat through a 6-month-old child, and they did that just because? Nah, because there's a rat infestation? Nah, I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Nope. You can't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. There's no possible way. Even if the bassinet was open, like, God damn it, I have to point better. But even if the bassinet is like this and it's open, the sheer amount, like, how many rats are gonna have to come? Like, where would they go up through? If they would go up through the legs, fine, I guess I could understand that. But just like, they didn't even hear the baby's cries. You think that the baby couldn't feel what was happening to him? It's a completely defenseless human being. Of course he was crying extremely loud. I don't know, man. This sounds like foul play. I wouldn't even be surprised that they gave the other two children like Benadryl or some shit like that. What's the other one called? The purple one, the kids one. The cough medicine, or sedated the kids some other way with like sleeping pills. Listen, people are fucking crazy. We've seen this in other true crime cases. So it's not as if that it wouldn't be possible. But yeah, this definitely smells like foul play to me. Something's fishy. So, 3 people as well.